Hello everyone, this is 11th lecture on subject income tax, and in today's class we are going to solve one 15 marks question on capital gain. Before I read the question, I request all the students to note down this sum and then see the solution. And the question is, Renu gives you the following details relating to the previous year 2019-20. Compute capital gain for the assessment year 2021. And the first information is, she sold the ornaments on 6/10/2019 for rupees 50 lakh, which cost to her grandfather rupees 5 lakh in year 1999. The fair market value of the ornaments were rupees 6 lakh on 1st April 2001. Second information is, the written down value of machinery as on 1/4/2019 was rupees 2 lakh, and the same machinery is destroyed due to fire on 15/1/2020, and the scrap value realized rupees 20,000 and insurance claim amounted to rupees 1,30,000. Next, she sold her self-generated goodwill on 23/2/2019 at rupees 5,80,000, which was raised in year 2010. Fourth is, non-listed shares which was purchased for rupees 1 lakh on 16/4/2019 was sold for rupees 3 lakh on 2/3/2020, and the brokerage paid was rupees 2,000. And last information, she sold one of her residential house on 16/8/2019 for rupees 15 lakhs, and the house was purchased in year 2007-8 for rupees 4 lakh. One room was added in the year 2012-13 at a cost of rupees 2,50,000. With this information, you are asked to calculate the capital gain, and the cost inflation index for the year 2001-2 is 100, 2007-8 is 129, 2010-11 is 167, 2012-13 is 200, and for the previous year 2019-20 it is 289. Let us start solving the sum. Computation of capital gain of Renu for the assessment year 2021. The first capital asset given in the sum is ornaments. Unless you have written down the sum, you will not understand the solution. So if you have not written it down, first note down the sum and then see the solution. The first information given in the sum is, she sold the ornaments on 6/10/2019 for rupees 50 lakh, which cost to her grandfather rupees 5 lakh in year 1999, and the fair market value of the ornament were 6 lakh on 1/4/2001. Here, first we need to understand the nature of asset. Renu is holding non-financial capital asset, and the cut-off holding period for non-financial capital asset other than land and building is 36 months, that is 3 years. As this asset was purchased in the year 1999 and is sold in the year 2019, that means this asset was held by the assessee for more than 3 years, that is 36 months. Therefore, it is a long-term asset, and whatever gain arises out of it will be either long-term capital gain or long-term capital loss. First we take full value of consideration. Full value of consideration. full value of consideration is nothing but the sale proceeds of the ornament, and Renu has sold this ornament for rupees 50 lakhs. After we take full value of consideration, we deduct any expenses incurred by assessee at the time of transfer. Here Renu has not incurred any expenses at the time of selling the ornament, so that amount will be nil. We are going to skip that particular step. Next is, we find out indexed cost of acquisition. The ornaments were purchased by grandfather of Renu in the year 1999, which is before the base year. So, in case the assessee purchases the ornaments or any capital asset before the base year, the assessee has option of either selecting for original cost of acquisition or fair market value as on 1/4/2001, whichever is greater. So the ornaments were purchased by grandfather for rupees 5 lakh, but fair market value as on 1/4/2001 is 6 lakh. Therefore, we are considering indexed cost of fair market value less indexed cost of fair market value of the ornaments. So the formula is fair market value as on 1/4/2001, it is 6 lakh into cost inflation index at the date of transfer, which is 289, divided by cost inflation index on 2001 and 2, which is 100. So we get the value rupees 17,34,000. Now the balance remaining is known as net consideration. Sorry, the balance remaining is known as net long-term capital gain. So net long-term capital gain is 32,66,000. Coming to next capital asset, it is machinery, and the information relating to machinery is the written down value of machinery as on 1/4/2019 was rupees 2 lakh. The same is destroyed due to fire on 15/1/2020, and the scrap realized is rupees 20,000. The insurance claim amounted to rupees 1,30,000. As machinery is depreciable asset, we have to calculate short-term capital gain for machinery, because we depreciate machinery every year and we find return down value of it at the end of every year. That is the reason any gain or loss arises from transfer of machinery will be short-term capital gain or short-term capital loss. Therefore, the second one is machinery, write in bracket short-term. Here the machinery is not sold. There is no sale proceed for the machinery, but the machinery is put for the scrap and it is destroyed due to fire, and later on the assessee has received insurance claim on the same. Therefore, whatever value or whatever amount of scrap which is received by the assessee plus the insurance claim will be full value of consideration. Therefore, scrap value which amounted to rupees 20,000 plus insurance claim which is 1,30,000 . So the total consideration received is 1,50,000. From this we have to deduct cost of acquisition. As this asset is short term, we are not taking indexed cost of acquisition, but we are taking only cost of acquisition. The cost of acquisition of machinery or the return down value of the machinery is rupees 2 lakh. Here we see the loss. Let us take the answers to the outer column. There is a loss, therefore show it in the bracket. Bracket indicates negative figure. The answer, that is 50,000 rupees minus 50,000 rupees, is nothing but it is short term capital loss. Now the third asset is self-generated goodwill. Self-generated goodwill. The self-generated goodwill is a long-term asset, as she had generated this goodwill in the year 2010. She has sold this self-generated goodwill for rupees 5,80,000. Therefore, full value of consideration is self-generated goodwill is 5,80,000. But there will be no cost of acquisition, as it is self-generated goodwill and not purchased or acquired goodwill. Therefore, less cost of acquisition would be nil. Now the answer is long term capital gain. Long term capital gain, that is 5,80,000. Coming to next one, fourth asset is non-listed shares, and the information relating to non-listed shares is non-listed shares which was purchased for rupees 1 lakh on 16/4/2019 was sold for rupees 3 lakh on 2/3/2020 and the brokerage paid being rupees 2,000. So the asset is non-listed shares. Non-listed shares are financial asset. The cut-off holding period for non-listed shares are 24 months, but the assessee is holding these non-listed shares for less than 24 months. Therefore, this asset is short term. Therefore, whatever gain or loss arises out of it will be either short-term capital gain or short-term capital loss. Let us find out the answer. Take down full value of consideration. Full value of consideration, that is the value at which the shares are sold. She has sold these shares for rupees 3 lakh. She has also paid the brokerage charges on the shares, therefore less expenses on transfer you can write it in bracket brokerage which amounts to rupees 2,000 and the balance remaining is 2,98,000. This 2,98,000 is known as net consideration. From net consideration, we have to deduct now cost of acquisition. If the asset is long term, then we have to deduct indexed cost of acquisition, and if the asset is short term, then we just have to deduct the cost of acquisition. Cost of acquisition. And she has purchased these shares for rupees 1 lakh. Now our answer is, that is net short term capital gain is 1,98,000. $1,98,000. And the last asset in the block is residential house. And the information relating to residential houses, she sold one of her residential house on 16/8/2019 for rupees 15 lakh, and the house was purchased in year 2007-8 for rupees 4 lakh, and one room was added in the year 2012-13 at the cost of rupees 2,50,000. She has purchased this house in the year 2007-8 and she has sold it in the year 2019. Therefore, she is holding this asset for more than 24 months. The cut-off holding period for residential house is 24 months and she is holding it for more than 24 months. Therefore, this asset is long term. Take down full value of consideration. Full value of consideration is nothing but the amount of sale, that is for the amount at which this asset is being sold by Renu, and she has sold it for rupees 15 lakh. Less indexed cost of acquisition. Indexed cost of acquisition. And the formula is cost of acquisition into CII for the year of transfer divided by CII for the year of acquisition. So it is acquired for 4 lakh rupees and CII for the year of transfer, that is 2019-20, is 289 and CII for the year of acquisition is 129. Thus we get the value of rupees 8,96,124. 8,96,124. Now the balance remaining is 6,03,876. From this we have to deduct now indexed cost of improvement. Indexed cost of improvement and it is calculated as cost of improvement, that is Renu has spent rupees 2,50,000 rupees on constructing one room and into cost inflation index at the time of transfer divided by cost inflation index on the year of construction of the house, that is it is 200. Now the indexed cost of improvement that we get is rupees 3,61,250. Now the balance remaining is known as net consideration, net long-term capital gain, net long-term capital gain, that is 6,03,876 minus 3,61,250, which is 2,42,626. 2,42,626. Now we have to total all the short-term capital gain plus we have to total all the long-term capital gain and then we get the net capital gain. So net short-term capital gain, net short-term capital gain is 1,48,000. How we arrive to 1,48,000? Here, this short term gain is 1,98,000. From that, we have to minus the loss from machinery, that is short term capital loss is deducted, rupees 50,000 from 1,98,000, and the balance remaining is 1,48,000. Next is net long term capital gain. Net long term capital gain total amounts to rupees 40,88,624. 40,88,624, which is nothing but the total of this residential house plus self-generated goodwill plus the capital gain of the ornaments. Therefore, we get the total amount of long-term capital gain as 40,88,624. Now, when we add both short-term as well as long-term capital gain, we get our final answer, that is net capital gain. Therefore, the net capital gain is 42,36,624. I hope you have understood the sum, but most important thing is you should note down the sum before you see the solution. Only then you are going to understand it better. Next class will be solving one more sum on long term capital gain as well as short term capital gain.